Good morning, everybody. It's Terry. It's Tuesday with Terry, another episode of Tuesdays with Terry. I'm talking to you live from Austin, Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is sweet, and all the drinks are free if you're hanging out with me. The title of my talk this morning is called So What, Now What? You probably heard that after you had a presentation and you get great points and you go, okay, that was a great presentation. It was good information. It was great ideas, but now what are you going to do? I want to tell you 6 things you can do when you hear some good news, when you hear a good idea, when you hear something you want to do, something you want to change in your organization. What are some things that you can do? Here's 6 things you can do to maybe help that. So what, now what? Number 1 is just communication. What exactly is the communication going to be? Is it honest? Is it clear? Is it two-way communication? Is it side to side, up and down communication? How's that going to be delivered? Is it going to be delivered on paper? Is it going to be delivered through an email? Is it going to be delivered, through a memo? Is it going to be delivered through a Zoom call or a webinar? How are you going to do the communication? But number 1 is communication. You probably heard this before. 85% of the problems in an organization are usually due to communication or the lack thereof. So communication is really important. It has one of the strongest effects on employees and employee commitment. How is the message delivered? When is the message delivered? And of course, the content. What is that message? Number 2, so what, now what? Now what can we do is remind yourself about the relationships. Remind yourself about the connection that you have with the people that you're working with. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's an old one, but it's a good one. And it's a good reminder for us, is caring beyond yourself. In other words, you know what you have invested into a company, you know what you have invested into a plan or a target or a goal in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of investment, but really think about the relationship, the people around you and the people that you work with. That relationship, and how can you improve that relationship? How can you take a sincere interest in that other person? And again, remember that many times conversations go the way that the first 30 seconds or the first 2 minutes of that conversation go. So take time to get to know people. Take time to see how things are going in their world. Really work on that relationship. Number 3 is integrity. So, there's a lot of talk about integrity, but integrity is really saying what you mean, meaning what you say, doing what you say, saying what you do, being where you're supposed to be, showing up on time, keeping the promises to yourself, number 1, that you intend for yourself. But number 2 is keeping your promises to other people. If you say it, then you really got to do it. So it's integrity in your actions. It's integrity in the stories that you tell to other people and the conversations that you're having. Is keep those conversations integral. Keep the conversations and the stories that you're telling about positive, good integrity. Tell more stories about integrity in your organization. It helps the culture. Number 4 is persistence. And what that really means is we all create action plans. We all create to-do plans. We all create get-done plans, as I've said before. But the reality of that is you've got to continue on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. One foot in front of the other. One day in front of the next day. And go as far as you can see, and then you go a little bit further. But be persistent. Maintain the actions that you started in the first place. Maintain those actions. Maintain those good habits. Those good habits are the things that you do, small little things that you do repeatedly over and over and over, but simply do not give up. Don't give up on the plan. Don't give up on the goal. Don't give up on yourself. Number 5 is accountability. Accountability, remember this. I had my good friend Tiffany Carter over there at AFG. She said, a pair of lips will tell you anything. And the truth of the matter is actions speak so much louder than words, right? And you know that. But when we get into a job, when we get into supervising, when we get into leading a group of people, it's not really about what they tell us. It's about what their actions are. It's about their behaviors. So remember that actions produce results. Words do not produce results. Actions produce results. And most of your team will respond to action-oriented items that will help them to produce results. Don't tell them, show them. Get in there with them and show them. So there's a little bit more about accountability. You have to have a cadence to accountability. You have to have a consistent way to follow up, and you have to give people the opportunity to improve. Progress trumps perfection. We've talked about that. And finally, number 6 is consistency. So it's not enough to do it one day. You don't become great in one day. You don't become a superstar in one game. You don't become a legend. All of those things don't happen because you did something good on one day out of the week or one day out of the month. The reason people become great or have success is because of the consistency in the things I just spoke about. Consistency in communication, consistency in their building their relationships, consistency in the integrity, consistency on their actions and not giving up, consistency with some accountability. But remember, that is consistency, consistency, consistency. And when you have consistency, what that does is it builds momentum. And building momentum, you get faster and better and faster and better and faster and better and faster and better until you've really got something going on. It keeps the trust in others that you have already earned. If you ever listen to Lou Holtz, he has a video out. I've seen it a number of years ago, but he talks a little bit about some of these things, and he has 3 rules, right? If you've heard this before, Lou Holtz talks about do the right thing, do your best, and treat other people the way you want to be treated. And if you do that, then you can answer those 3 questions that are universal questions that everybody has. Every worker has of their coworker, every employer of their employee, every employee of their employer. Every friend of a friend says, number 1, can I trust you? Well, if you do the right thing, people can trust you. Number 2 question is, are you committed to excellence? You're committed to excellence when you do your best every day, when you bring your A game, when you know what is expected and you deliver on what the requirements of the job are. Then people know that you're actually committed to excellence. Do you really do what you say? And then finally, the last one is, do you care about me? People know that you care about me if you follow the golden rule. Treat other people the same way that you want to be treated. Talk to other people the way that you want to be talked to. Take the actions towards other people the way that you want their actions towards you. In any case, there you go. So what? Now what? 6 ways that you can take action, do things, build trust, and have a better business, have a better relationship, have a better life. My name's Terry. Thanks for listening in today.